Do you consider this campus as safe? I mean, can you guys go out at night?
I've heard a lot about stuff happening in New Brunswick.
Me personally, like when I was here, I always carried pepper spray. I think,
Okay.
a lot of people carry.
Every job application, they have like one question that says, do you need work sponsor? So yes or no, and so that's a really hard struggle.
The Bush campus itself is pretty big.
Yeah.
But on a campus like this big, you have also a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm a student media researcher in the School of Communications, and so it's paid. So they pay me like $20 an hour.
You got $10,000 of scholarship now.
Yeah, I really like that everything is paid here.
Yeah, I feel like the community here for like Indians is like very like it's like pretty highly ranked. I think
Right.
even Rutgers was like a top 20 school this year.
What got you the admission at Rutgers?
Definitely my extracurriculars in high school, like a lot of NGO work.
So you were
Yeah.
socially active and
You have to be if coming to US is what you want to do.
If you are planning to study in the US, watch the video until the end and subscribe to the channel.
Do you want to take like a lap around this campus before we go, like in the car, or do you want to go straight to the?
We can go there. Yeah, I think we've seen the engineering buildings.
Because there's like more on like that whole back side.
Yeah.
The stadium is pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. That's like that Formula One building I was talking about. Right.
Which one?
Still always end up going and sitting on trying to go to that side and
I saw you doing that. That always happens to me when I come back from Mumbai. I went for the summer, I came back, I'm like, kaun sa side pe baithna hai?
do you drive here, Kushi?
Not here.
Okay.
In Mumbai I did. It's really easy for me to get a license here though, because I have an
Yeah.
Indian license.
Okay.
But
I tried to drive in Delhi one time. No one would let me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been driving in India for forever, but I dare not drive here.
Yeah, I think my dad learned in India like when we moved here in 2004.
Yeah.
So when he went back this time, he's like, yeah, like no way I can continue driving here.
Yeah, it's not the same at all.
Yeah.
No, while talking to you guys, I sometimes feel I get an accent a little bit too. I'm pretty Indian as it gets.
So are you from like Delhi originally?
Yes, I've been born and brought up in Delhi. Then I did my undergrad from IIT Roorkee.
IIT?
Yeah, but in India. So I was not a full-time international student. I did part of my studies in Sweden while I was at Roorkee for my undergrad. Then I joined an oil and gas company and traveled a little bit in the States. Worked in Gulf of Mexico, started in Africa, and was doing oil and gas stuff for a few years, then went back to India for my MBA, post which I worked for a consulting company called Boston Consulting Group. I don't know.
Okay, BCG.
BCG,
Yes.
you guys probably learn about some of their models and all, and I worked for BCG for a few years and then started out on my own, trying to help students in India to understand what it takes to make a career.
Yeah, it's like you got to try out like a lot of things. Like as you said before, you didn't like your mechanical.
Yeah, material science.
Material,
Yeah. So I mean,
IIT, you said?
yeah, from IIT Roorkee. That was
Where's
actually
that?
it's close to Delhi, but
UP
UP, Uttarakhand now. That's the reason why. So every state could have one IIT. So when the division happened, so IIT Kanpur is in UP, and when Uttarakhand became a new state and Roorkee was part of it, so then Roorkee could become an IIT.
So does every state in India have an IIT? Or like,
Now there are more than one also. So now, of course,
really?
yeah. So now the
are
number
they
of
all like equal kind of? Like if you go to any IIT, it's like
No, there's like rankings.
yeah, there's
Okay.
rankings like like for example, Rutgers New Brunswick is better than Rutgers Newark. Yeah, right. So it's
IIT Kharagpur is the best one.
Kharagpur, Kanpur.
Yeah.
I'm from Roorkee, so I believe Roorkee is the best. So do you have a lot of international students around at Rutgers?
Yes, I can speak for that. A lot, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to give a number, I know 200 of us came from India last year
For the undergrad program.
for undergrad, for this exact campus.
Wow.
Yeah. 200, and we had like a small orientation thing in Mumbai and Delhi. So like they like Rutgers faculty came to Mumbai and Delhi to
Yeah.
just introduce us to everything, and so we met like a lot of friends there, and so we all just basically came together.
So this is kind of like the psychology department. This is
Yeah.
like the Center of Alcohol Studies. What else? This is a math building here. This is the Hill Center.
So the
This
Bush
is
campus itself is pretty big.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so big, you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like this is Allison Road classroom. like if you're a freshman, there are a lot of like generic classes here. There's like big auditoriums. One thing about Rutgers is like when you're like taking your first like freshman classes, they're huge, like 200, 300 people.
Yeah.
And like as you like progress, like the classes get smaller.
Get smaller. Of course, I think the more generic programs, the courses which are there, are the ones with larger classes.
So this is like the pharmacy school,
Right, pharmacy.
like environmental, like health.
You guys have a golf course of your own on
Yeah,
campus?
there's the golf course right here.
18 holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow.
My cousin actually like used to work here. A lot of like students get like cause if they have like free time on campus.
Yeah.
Because I guess like they don't want to keep asking their parents for money. So people get like jobs.
But on a campus like this big, you have also a lot of opportunities
Yeah.
to work part time. Do you have you tried any like particularly like paid jobs, Kushi, here on campus?
Yes, I did. I'm a student media researcher in the School of Communications.
Yeah.
I work with a professor. He gives me like logistics or like administrative work to do. I do it for him. Like just like an example for you guys. Last semester, I was interviewing adolescents and parents, asking
Okay.
them what they think about ChatGPT. And so it's paid. So they pay me like $20 an hour. So it's pretty
Wow.
good. So I make around 200 a week. But it's pretty nice. But again, if you're an international F1 student, you cannot work off campus
Right.
during the school year. And so I can only work on campus. So that really restricts me sometimes. Not that I mind that because I'm doing too much to be able to
You're
like,
already involved in so many things.
Exactly. So like
Yeah.
I don't mind that, but yeah, you are restricted in that
I think
sense.
more than the money, it's just more importantly that you get to get serious work, right? If somebody's paying you
Yeah.
for that, and
Exactly,
it's like
yeah.
it's important work that needs
Yeah,
to be
they
done.
recognize your like
Yeah.
time and effort. Yeah, I really like that everything is paid here. It's not like that back home.
Yeah.
You don't really get paid. And I went back home this summer and I was trying to get an internship in Mumbai, and they're like, no one pays you here for
Yeah.
internships. Like
They're
barely
like,
ever.
you should pay me to teach you. Recently,
No, exactly.
there's this post
Yeah.
by Dipinder Goyal. He's the CEO of Zomato,
Oh really?
and he posted that if you want to work for me as a chief of staff,
Yeah.
you can apply, and you have to pay me 20 lakhs
Oh my god.
to work for me. So it was a joke, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I really like that here.
it's different in India.
Yeah, but you can get summer internships obviously off campus.
Yeah.
And so related to your major, so that's what I'm looking for right now for next summer. Internship search starts really soon in the semester, so like almost like August, September, they're all starting to come out, and this is for summer 2025. So
Right.
there's such a long time to it, like May 25, and especially it's harder for internationals because of the visa status.
Right.
They always ask you a
Getting
question.
sponsorship is
Yeah.
also, I feel like,
They
very
like
hard.
every job application they have like one question that says, do you need work sponsorship?
Work sponsorship. Yeah.
So yes or no, and so that's a really hard struggle because when you say yes, it
But
really
you're in
deters
your
you.
second year right
I'm
now.
in my
right?
second year.
Yeah. So you have like two more
2
years.
more years,
of
and then I get
school
3
and then
years of STEM OPT.
STEM OPT post that.
Yeah.
So you have a long time available to,
I do,
kind of
yeah.
contribute to any organization right now.
That's true.
I mean, I think as an undergrad, I think one biggest question that gets asked to me as a counselor is, how would you finance your education? So tell me a little bit about, how much is your total education going to cost for you at Rutgers, and did you get any scholarships before you came or after you came here?
Yeah, for 1 year full in Rutgers as an international student is $54,000.
Okay.
Um,
That's including living?
Including everything, including
Okay.
on-campus living, food, everything, $54,000. But because I was in the honors college,
Yeah.
they gave me a $10,000 scholarship. So for
Okay.
me, it costs $44,000 instead.
44,000.
Yeah.
So about broadly, you can say for a 4-year course, about $200,000 is
Yes,
going to cost
exactly.
in total,
Yeah, and this is almost every state school. Like this is how much they cost.
right? And you got $10,000 of scholarship now for in your second year already, so that's a good thing.
10,000 is for 1 year, so overall I'm saving 40,000.
$40,000. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you are also able to get some kind of paid work, which gives you another about
Yeah.
$1,000 odd dollars,
Exactly.
a month. So that would be I don't know if you're going to work continuously.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will also add up to the savings. So at least, somewhere closer to $150,000 for the total cost, including living, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, how are you financing your education?
My family is.
Your family is right now, yes.
All of it, my family is.
But I know that, for Rutgers University, at bachelor's level, it's slightly more difficult, but you can even get, some of the national banks to sort of finance.
Yes. A couple of my friends are on student loans from back home. So.
Back home, yeah. Don't feel conscious. So what do international students do for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's a good question. Some of them who do have family around will just go there.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. But some who don't end up staying on campus.
So I'm lucky that I came today and I was able to catch you.
Yeah, yeah. Today everyone leaves. That's why you'll see that the campus is a little dead. Some of the halls will close. The dining halls are closed for 4 days, which is inconsiderate considering like international students have nowhere else to go. So
right.
they shouldn't do that. Yeah, that does happen.
We're approaching the business school. This is the business building. This one.
It looks pretty cool. You're right, these Rutgers buses are there everywhere,
Yeah.
shuttling students around campus. What's the Jersey Mike's Arena?
So this is the basketball stadium, and like this is where they have like graduations.
Okay, the graduation ceremony also happens
Yes.
It's really big from the
Like each school, so like if you're in the arts and sciences here, and then there's a convocation with everybody.
I'm still not so used to that whole layering concept here.
Yeah, it's getting colder.
Suddenly it's hot and then it's really cold.
It was like raining all morning yesterday, and sunny for
This is kind of like the little, they have some shops here. That's Henry's Diner. You can use your meal swipes there. There's a cinema here. There's like a movie theater.
Okay.
It has like I think 2 theaters. They play movies. Students get a discount.
Do you get Indian movies played here sometimes?
Not here. I don't think I've ever seen here, but
But all the popular like American.
this is like a pretty big, like I don't know, like Edison, New Jersey, North Brunswick. There's a lot of Indian people to the point where in Edison, when you vote and stuff on every like government document, it comes in Gujarati also because there's so many of them there. It's like Edison specifically. It's called Little India, like Oak Tree Road. You'll see like
Yeah,
all,
the friends I was meeting for
Yeah.
breakfast, they stay at Edison.
Yeah, I feel like the community here for like Indians is like very like one of the biggest I would say in the country.
Yeah. And how would you consider, like, I mean, it's a little bit remote. Do you consider this campus as safe? I mean, can you guys go out at night?
So
like,
this
without
one, New Brunswick specifically at nighttime, I would say it depends on like the area you're in. I feel like anywhere like in the dark, like you would feel like unsafe, like by yourself.
Yeah.
New Brunswick does have a lot of crime. We
It
get
does?
like Rutgers crime alerts. There's like break-ins.
Okay.
Usually, like me personally, like when I was here, I always carried pepper spray. I think,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of people carry.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's
Yeah.
like a reality.
Kushi, especially since like you have not grown up here, but
Yeah.
did you ever feel unsafe here on campus?
There's been moments, yeah. Like when you go out at night with your friends, it's
Yeah.
dark. There are moments when you feel like, oh, someone's following you.
Okay.
And it's so much worse because like your family's back home, so it's
Yeah.
like you have to like make sure you're like safe in that sense. So
Right.
we try to like always stay
Like,
alert.
always like go in a group and
always go in a group.
Even like parties and stuff, like make
Yeah.
sure. Like here, I think a lot of like friends they share their locations with their friends.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about mugging. I've heard a lot about.
I think that's there everywhere. I'm from Noida, so it's not.
Same
I mean,
here.
Mumbai. I think, but from Mumbai perspective, Mumbai is considered as the one
Mumbai
of
is
the
so safe, exactly.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, but you would still, be more cautious here than than Mumbai.
Yes, I would definitely. I've heard a lot about stuff happening in New Brunswick.
Because New Brunswick, I would say it's kind of like a low-income area. A
Yeah.
lot of it, some that not necessarily contributes to the crime rates, but unfortunately there are some like homeless people. There are.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like they don't provide enough resources for them, so
Yeah.
it's like they have to. It's like unfortunate, but
It's good to be always safer than.
better
You-
be safe than
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
The dining hall is there.
Yeah, so this is another, like every campus has its own student center and a dining hall. It's like same, like this one has like a Dunkin' Donuts. There's a lot more like classrooms, and this is pretty much this whole campus, like just what you see here. So the business school is here. Rutgers Business School is like, it's like pretty highly ranked. I think
Right.
even Rutgers was like a top 20 school this year. Yeah. So
Rutgers engineering is also top 50. So
yeah, it's like especially if you live in New Jersey,
Yeah.
it's like a really great option
Yeah.
to come here.
Even as an international, pretty good deal.
And we've talked about your what do you do on campus, what all activities you guys are part of.
Yeah.
You also shared how you changed your majors and your focus, and you are doing double major. You moved from computer science to cognitive science, and a little bit around how you are financing the education as an international student. Tell me a little bit about your admission experience. How was it like? Of course it's a top school. We are all talking like top ranks and everything. You chose it over another top ranked school, and I think UMCP is phenomenal for computer science as well. But yeah, I mean, just around how competitive was the admissions process here?
So I know as like an in-state resident,
You can maybe just
yeah.
walk.
If you're a New Jersey resident,
Mhm.
it's like I would say maybe a 60-50% acceptance rate.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get in compared to like, let's say you're coming from like any other state.
Yeah.
Kind of it's like less because if it's a state school, so they kind of do want people like from the state.
From the state, yes.
So when I applied, I would say that I applied early. So I think I submitted by November, and I heard back like mid-December.
Okay.
So I applied to the School of Arts and Sciences, the Engineering School, and the Business School. So I got into all three. I
Okay.
picked the-
So the thing is that one you mentioned is important to note is that apply early.
So if you
and,
apply, there's
yeah.
there's a November 1st deadline and a January 1st deadline.
Right.
So the November 1st, it's just like you get to know early. I guess there's a little bit like priority, I guess,
Mhm.
versus when you apply. I know now I applied like 4 years ago. Now, like my brother's currently a senior, so he's applying also to Rutgers. I would say it's definitely a lot more competitive than it was when I applied, especially like their business school.
Mhm.
Like it was like almost everyone would get in.
Yeah.
If you're from New Jersey, now it's like very selective.
Selective, yeah. Since you're letting your brother join Rutgers, you are very happy with your choice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
here. It's
yeah.
close to home. I mean, he also like, I guess doesn't want to go too far.
Far, yeah.
But
Apply early, and you also got an option to apply to multiple departments.
yeah, so I think you get to pick up to three
Three.
or four. I do believe once you're in, I know like someone, they started off as like a computer science student. They
Right.
didn't like it. They applied for a transfer into the business school.
Transfer
So
to
it's
the.
like, if you want to switch your major from like within your like assigned school, it's like you can just declare and you
Like-
take classes. But let's say like from a cognitive science, like I went to the business school, I
Right.
have to like apply to the business.
Apply to the business school.
It's like not like apply like as like what I did in the beginning, but it's like some transfer.
Right. And if you do it earlier, then you can get those kind of credits transferred and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That happens later as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like a lot faster.
it's a lot faster that way.
Yeah. Same experience for me. I applied in November, got my decision mid-December. I didn't get my notification for the honors college until May.
Right.
So that's when I found out that I was in the honors college, which really changed like how I felt about coming to Rutgers. Same process for me. Then they had 2 orientations in Mumbai. Then they have a whole international student orientation here at Rutgers when you come. So 2 days before everyone's supposed to move in, the international students move in. And so 2 days they're like explaining to you everything. Your parents are here. My mom and dad were here.
Yeah.
They're all explaining to you how this will go.
Did
Really?
you tour the campus before you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I did not.
You did not
Yeah.
come to here.
Yeah.
But what do you think got you at Rutgers? What got you the admission at Rutgers?
Definitely my extracurriculars in high school. And grades, obviously. Grades matter a lot, but
You got 12 credits transferred, so I'm sure you did well academically.
yeah, academically was good.
Yeah.
But more than that, I was involved in a lot of Model UN in high
Okay.
school. That really helped. I founded my own social activism platform on Instagram. So just
Okay.
like entrepreneurial stuff, like they really like to see all of that.
Right.
Like a lot of NGO work.
So you were
yeah.
socially active and
You
had
have to be. You have to be if coming to US is what you want to do. Yeah.
I think it's different from here.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people who do like those extra like curriculars, I feel like everyone has to like do it here. Like
Right.
I think it's like you have to volunteer also like a couple like I think I had 100 hours of volunteering at like
Right.
hospitals, like schools. You have to be well-rounded, especially now like when they make like the standardized tests, they're optional, so
Right.
your SAT and stuff. So then it's like you're like actually like you have to stand out.
It's not optional anymore, right?
No, I think now it is. Like for some schools it's test optional.
For some it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Some schools are test optional,
Like
yes.
UC's a test blind, right?
Yeah.
If you found this useful, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel.